Hi girls, this video is for the VIP for Pace. How y'all doing? So welcome to Unbothered, Unapologetic, and Mentally Well. So we're going to talk about mental health, what that is, how to cope and deal with mental health, what resources are out there, and just how to be unapologetically you, which I think in today's society is something that, we really need to strive for, making sure we are unapologetic, that we are unbothered, and that we are at peace up here. So let's dive into it. So, first off, what is mental health, right? So, when we think about mental health, we might just think about just feelings or just how we feel if we're depressed or anxious or something like that. And it's so much more than that. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well being. So basically, what that means, it's about how we feel, how we act, how we feel towards ourselves specifically, and how we think, before that big test, going into something really stressful, coming out of something really stressful. All of that incorporates your mental health. And so that affects how we relate to others, how we make choices in our everyday lives. Are we driving and we're so stressed out that we go and we yell at the person next to us who we feel cut us off? Do we, throw the money on the counter at the cashier who was just trying to do their job, but you're upset because you didn't pass a test, the last period? So it's how we interact with ourselves and how we interact with others. So let's talk about how exactly we break that stigma. What do we do when we hear things like, you go to therapy? Isn't that just for crazy people? Or just pray about it, don't worry about that. Or there's nothing wrong with you. You just being over dramatic. Just toughen up, deal with it, move on to the next one. Especially in regards to the older generation. I didn't have therapy, so why do you need that? And I think a part of breaking the stigma is going to be having that open conversation about our feelings. We have to talk to someone. We came into this world alone, yes, but every man is not an island. Find a friend, find a family member, find a buddy, find a teacher. You all have great teachers and staff members at Pace. Find someone that you can talk to about your feelings and where you can get that stress, that emotion out. I promise you, it's going to be worth it. Educate yourself. Educate yourself on what you're feeling. Can you put a name to it? Am I feeling just sad or am I feeling depressed? Am I feeling just a little jittery? Or is this something that I really need to talk to somebody about because I'm a time bomb that's going to go off in 2 seconds? What exactly is that? You also need to speak out against stigma. I think y'all generation are really good about speaking out and making sure your voices are heard. So use that, create videos, say something in person. If you overhear, something like, hey, you're not depressed. You're sad. Just deal with it. Feel free to step in and say, hey, everybody's feelings is valid. And if she feels or he feels, they feel that there's something going on that they need some extra help, let them do it and break off that stigma. It starts with you, and it starts with you breaking off that stigma within yourself. Educate yourself, and then don't shame and use empathy. Really empathize with the next person. See exactly how that you can be a rock for them, and then they'll in turn do the same thing for you. Okay, so some common mental health challenges are going to be things like depression. So that's just not sadness or feeling down. That is an intense feeling of feeling down, of feeling hopelessness, of feeling some people can feel everything all at once and some people can feel nothing at all. You also have anxiety that can be social anxiety when you get around a lot of people and you're just like, okay, I got to get out of here. This is too much. Or it might be just, a mild version of anxiety before a test. That's also mental health. Burnout when you're studying for a test or you're working around the clock because you saw this cute dress over at the mall and or on Sheen, and you're like, okay, I gotta work and work and work to try to get that, dress going. That can lead to something called burnout where you're feeling just emotionally, physically exhausted. Post-traumatic stress disorder, if you've had some type of trauma in your life, some sort of trauma in your past, then, you might start to feel the physical effects of, that trauma, lingering. And that trauma could have happened years ago and you still feel the effects from it. That, could be post traumatic stress disorder. And eating disorders, that's something that's common in young females where, we might not feel our best about our bodies. And so we take the drastic route and say, I'm not going to eat anything, or I'm going to, do an alternative tactic to get rid of this weight. And, that's also something that's a common mental health, challenge. And there are resources, out there. Don't ever feel like you're by yourself in this. So, how do we cope with this? What exactly do we do? So, there is, a couple things that you can do for that. One of my things that personally I like to do, I like to blast my music, close the door, whether it be on the speaker, on the computer, or put on the headphones. And I like to pretend that I'm on stage with my little water bottle or my little hairbrush and just sing. And I don't care who's listening and who hears me, you're going to hear me today because I have energy within myself where I feel like I need to let it out in a creative outlet. I also really like art as well, too. So I just go ahead and start sketching. So you find something that you feel is something that you would like to do. That could be exercise. You want to take a walk around the block. Mindfulness, where you might want to do some yoga, you might want to do some meditation. There's so much things on YouTube. You want to get that 8 hours of sleep. Pamper yourself, get your nails done. Y'all don't look at my nails. My nails not done, but you pamper yourself and get your nails done. And do some positive self-talk. If y'all saw The Help, I'm smart, I am beautiful, I am important. Something, to get you through your day. So, who exactly do you go to ask for help, right? So, you can talk to close, loved ones. You can talk to family, friends, best friend. How you can count on your best friend, and let them, you vent to them, they vent to you. You guys create good, open communication. You can join communities. There are support groups that are out there specifically for mental health, for specifically for each condition where you can talk to people that are dealing with the same thing. You can also join social groups if you want that creative outlet. Or if you feel like, hey, I really need to talk to somebody professional, there are psychologists out there, counselors, teachers that you can talk to all over. So don't ever let your lack of resource kind of, overshadow your need for a professional consultation or asking for help. And I'll dive into that on the next slide. All right, y'all. So a couple different resources that you can reach out to for help. So we talked already about, your school, parents, friends, support groups, teachers, psychologists. So some other ones that you can do, you can dial 988 from your cell phone, and that's it, just 988. And that is going to connect you to a 24/7 line, and any age can call. You let them know what you're going through. They'll connect you with somebody. It's completely free, completely confidential. You don't have to worry about somebody, spreading your business out there. These are trained professionals that you can talk to. You can also try the Alachua County Crisis Center. I'm sorry, my head is kind of blocking a little bit of it off, but I will put the link down below. You can contact them. They're open. They have peers that are trained specifically for this thing. So if you feel like you are in a crisis, or even if you just need to talk, just contact them. They're ready and willing to help. There's also girlshealth.gov, and they talk about things from body image, feelings. I mean, the list goes on, and I'll put that link in the description as well too. Protect your joy, protect your energy, protect your peace, because mental health is part of the glow up as well. It's not just about your hair, it's not just about your skin, your makeup, your nails. Mental health is also a part of your glow up. Thank y'all for listening, girls. So, I really hope that this video helped you. I hope that, you were able to pick up something from it. Like I said, protect your joy, protect your energy, protect your peace. If you feel like it spoke to you, feel free to hit the like button or drop a heart in the comments. Share this with another queen who might need a reminder. And remember to stay unbothered, unapologetic, and mentally well. Bye, y'all.